Lieutenant Sam Carter stood at the entrance of the massive Zivaxian government building. The structure rose into the orange sky like a twisted spire, its surface gleaming with an odd metallic sheen that seemed to shift colors in the light of the alien sun. Sam took a deep breath, feeling the processed airflow through the life support system of what appeared to be a standard diplomatic environment suit. "Final systems check," Sam said quietly. A soft blue light pulsed on the inside of Sam's helmet display. "All systems nominal, Lieutenant," responded Echo, the suit's artificial intelligence. "Environmental protection at 100%. Translation software updated with latest Zivaxian dialect patches. Diplomatic protocols noted." Sam nodded. "And the other systems?" There was a brief pause. "Secondary systems inactive, but available. Current configuration: standard diplomatic. All military functions dormant as per mission parameters." "Good. Let's keep them that way," Sam said, hoping the mission would go as planned. Earth needed this alliance. After 3 years of searching for advanced civilizations willing to trade technology, the Zivaxians were the most promising contact yet. The massive doors slid open with a hiss, revealing 2 tall reptilian guards. Their scales shifted from green to blue as they moved, and their vertical pupils narrowed in the bright light. Each carried what looked like ceremonial spears, but Sam's briefing had indicated the weapons contained powerful energy projectors. "Human delegate will follow," said the taller guard in a rasping voice. The translator in Sam's helmet smoothed the complex hisses and clicks into English dot. Sam followed the guards through long, curved hallways. The ceiling was unusually high, designed for the taller Zivaxian physiology. The air outside the suit would be toxic to humans, mostly methane, with traces of hydrogen sulfide. To the Zivaxians, Earth's oxygen-rich atmosphere would be equally deadly. After passing through several security checkpoints, they entered a large circular chamber. 7 Zivaxian officials sat on elevated platforms, looking down at the central floor where Sam was directed to stand. Their neck frills expanded and contracted with each breath, displaying patterns that the translation software identified as indicating curiosity and caution. The central figure, larger than the others, with elaborate gold-colored patterns on his scales, leaned forward. "I am High Commander Krelfax of the Zivaxian Alliance. You are the human sent to negotiate trade relations?" Sam nodded, the suit's external speakers projecting a voice that sounded calm and professional. "Lieutenant Sam Carter, representing the Earth Diplomatic Corps. Thank you for agreeing to this meeting, High Commander." Krelfax's neck frill pulsed with a pattern Sam's translator identified as amusement. "Such a small species to travel so far. Your kind has impressive ships, yet you seem fragile." Sam smiled behind the helmet visor. It wasn't the first time humans had been underestimated because of their biology. "We may not have natural armor like your people, High Commander, but humans have other strengths. Yes, your technology." Krelfax gestured to one of the other officials, who activated a hovering display showing images of Earthships. "Impressive. For a species that achieved spaceflight so recently. This is why we agreed to this meeting. Your propulsion systems are of interest to us." As the meeting continued, Sam noticed subtle changes in the room. Additional guards had entered silently and positioned themselves near the exits. The translation software flagged a subvocal communication between Krelfax and his security chief. ... Ready for extraction procedure? Sam maintained a diplomatic posture while Echo ran a deeper analysis of the room. The suit's sensors detected energy weapons powering up and the faint electromagnetic signature of containment fields preparing to activate. "Hi, Commander," Sam said, deliberately keeping the tone friendly. "I notice your security seems concerned. Is there a problem we should address before continuing our discussions?" Krellfax's neck frill flattened, a sign the briefing had identified as aggression. Or excitement. Very observant, human. There is indeed something to address. He stood to his full height, nearly 9 feet tall. Your species has technology we desire, but you are too cautious in your sharing. We have found it more efficient to simply take what we need from new species. The guards raised their weapons. Energy fields hummed to life around the room's perimeter. You won't be harmed permanently, Krellfax continued. Most specimens survive the extraction process, though your suit will need to be removed for proper study. Your ship in orbit will receive similar treatment. Sam sighed. I was really hoping for actual diplomacy today. Krellfax made a sound the translator interpreted as laughter. Diplomacy is for equals, human. Your species is merely useful. I should warn you, Sam said calmly. This suit isn't exactly what it appears to be. A bluff. Scans show it's a simple environmental protection system, said one of the other officials. Sam shook his head. Your scans showed exactly what we wanted them to show. The first guard fired, a pulse of energy speeding toward Sam's chest. Instead of the expected impact, the energy dissipated across a suddenly visible field. The suit began to change. Panels shifted and locked into place. The transparent visor darkened and reinforced. Additional armor layers emerged from what had seemed like decorative elements. Echo, Sam said quietly. Activate combat configuration. Combat Exoskin activated, ECHO responded as the transformation completed. Where a diplomatic envoy in a simple environment suit had stood moments before, now stood a heavily armored figure. The suit's surface gleamed with a dark metallic sheen, power indicators glowing along key junctions. Krellfax hissed in surprise. What is this deception? Not deception, Sam replied, the suit's voice now deeper and amplified. Preparation. Humans learned long ago to hope for peace while being ready for alternatives. The guards opened fire. Energy bolts splashed harmlessly against the suit's defensive field. Sam moved with enhanced speed, covering the distance to the nearest guard in a blur of motion. The suit's strength amplification made the alien's impressive size irrelevant. Sam disarmed the guard with a precise strike that was carefully calculated to incapacitate without killing. Last chance for actual diplomacy, Sam announced to the chamber as alarms began to sound throughout the complex. We can still talk this out. Krellfax's response was to slam his fist on a control panel. Blast doors began to close around the chamber. Elite units to the central chamber. Capture the human specimen. Sam sighed inside the helmet as tactical displays activated across the visor, highlighting threats, exits, and optimal paths through the complex. ECHO. Contact the horizon. Dawn. Tell Captain Russell that diplomacy has failed. We're moving to contingency plan Delta. Communication blocked by facility shielding, ECHO replied. We must reach a higher position or disable their jammers. Sam nodded, watching as more guards poured through the doors before they sealed. Then, I guess we're taking the scenic route out of here. The Exoskin's power systems hummed as Sam prepared to fight through the Zyvaxian facility, the suit's capabilities just beginning to reveal themselves to the aliens who had so gravely miscalculated what it meant to provoke a human. The Exoskin moved like liquid metal around Sam as more Zyvaxian guards poured into the chamber. What had appeared to be a simple diplomatic suit now revealed its true nature. Plates of advanced composite armor locked into place over vital areas. Power conduits glowed with blue energy along the spine and limbs. The once clear helmet visor had transformed into a reflective black surface. It revealed nothing of the human face behind it. Target their weapons, Echo, Sam said as the first wave of guards advanced. Non-lethal takedowns only. Acknowledged, replied the AI. Combat systems at 80% capacity. Suggesting route through Eastern Corridor for optimal exit strategy. SAMS. Display lit up with tactical information. The exoskin enhanced every movement, making Sam faster and stronger than any unaugmented human could be. A guard fired an energy weapon, but Sam was already moving. The suit predicted the shot trajectory and guided Sam's body into a roll that brought them within striking distance of 3 guards. "Sorry about this," Sam said, as the exoskin-enhanced arms swept 2 guards off their feet. The 3rd guard stabbed forward with an electrified staff, but the weapon nearly sparked against the suit's armor. Sam grabbed the staff, snapped it in half, and used the momentum to push the guard back without causing serious injury. High Commander Krelfax watched from behind a force field, his neck frill flaring with anger and surprise. All units converge. On the central chamber, the human has concealed weapons technology. Not concealed, Sam replied, the suit's external speakers projecting the voice clearly across the chamber. Just not advertised. A second wave of guards entered, these wearing heavier armor and carrying more powerful weapons. Their shots caused the exoskin's energy shields to flare visibly. "Shield integrity at 75%, Echo warned. "Recommend immediate exit from current position." Sam nodded inside the helmet and activated the suit's jump enhancers. With a burst of power, Sam leaped 15 feet into the air, landing on a decorative ledge near the chamber ceiling. Before the guards could redirect their fire, Sam crashed through a ventilation duct that the suit's sensors had identified. "They're in the ventilation system," shouted a Zyvaxian voice below. Sam crawled rapidly through the duct, following ECHO's navigation markers. "What's the status on communications?" "Still jammed," Echo replied, detecting Central Communication Hub 3 levels up. Successful infiltration would allow contact with the Horizon Dawn. Sam reached a junction and kicked through another vent, dropping into an empty corridor. The exoskin absorbed the impact effortlessly. Warning indicators flashed as security systems detected the intrusion. Echo accessed their network. "I need to know what we're dealing with." The AI interfaced with nearby terminals through wireless connections. Accessing ... security protocols identified. The Zyvaxians have activated full lockdown. They are also preparing to capture the Horizon Dawn using some form of tractor technology. Sam frowned inside the helmet. "Captain Russell needs to be warned." "Additional data found," Eco continued. "The IVHAGs have captured representatives from 3 other species using similar tactics. Detention cells located 2 levels down. Contain prisoners." Sam paused at a corner, checking for guards. "Show me." A schematic appeared on the helmet display, showing the layout of the facility with the detention area highlighted. Change of plans, Sam decided. "We're going to free those prisoners first, then reach the communication hub. Warning, this will delay contact with the Horizon Dawn by approximately 27 minutes. "Understood, but we can't leave others trapped here." Sam moved through the corridors, using the suit's stealth systems to avoid detection when possible and swiftly neutralizing guards when necessary. The exoskin adapted its external layer, shifting colors to blend with surroundings. Meanwhile, aboard the Horizon Dawn in orbit above the Zyvaxian homeworld, Communications Officer Olivia Nguyen was growing concerned. "Captain Russell, we've lost contact with Lieutenant Carter," she reported, turning from her console. "Last transmission was 43 minutes ago, at the start of the diplomatic meeting." Captain Frank Russell frowned, his weathered face showing. "Worry lines. Try again on all frequencies." "I've tried, sir." "There's some kind of jamming field activated around the government complex." Olivia's fingers moved quickly across her controls. "And Sir... 3 Zyvacian warships have just changed course. They're moving to surround us." Russell straightened. In his captain's chair, shields up. Inform Earth Command immediately. Sir, called out the sensor officer, the Zyvaxians are powering up some kind of energy projector. It's not a weapon, looks like a tractor system. Evasive maneuvers, Russell ordered, and prepare the emergency protocols. I have a feeling Lieutenant Carter's diplomatic mission just went sideways. Back in the Zyvaxian facility, Sam reached the detention level. The guards here were more alert, clearly protecting something important. Sam waited until 2 guards passed, then sprinted down the corridor at a speed no unassisted human could match. The first guard barely had time to turn before Sam knocked him unconscious with a precision strike. The second reached for an alarm panel, but Sam was there in an instant, grabbing his arm and carefully applying pressure to specific nerve points Echo had identified in the Zyvaxian physiology. Cell controls located, Echo reported as Sam approached a security station. Connecting to system now. Sam placed a hand on the control panel, allowing the Exoskin to interface with the alien technology. The doors to 6 different cells slid open. From within emerged beings of various shapes and sizes representatives of different species, all looking weak and frightened. A tall, bird-like alien with colorful feathers and forearms stared at Sam with large golden eyes. You are not Zyvaxian, it said in a melodic voice that Sam's translator processed. Lieutenant Sam Carter, from Earth, Sam replied. I'm getting you all out of here. The bird-like alien bowed slightly. I am Krytal, engineering ambassador from the Avery Collective. It captured me 3 lunar cycles ago, during what was supposed to be a technology exchange. The other freed prisoners gathered around, each telling similar stories through Sam's translator. The Zyvaxians had been luring representatives from various species, capturing them, and extracting both technological knowledge and biological samples. We need to reach the communication center, Sam explained. I can warn my ship and send evidence of what's happening here to all our governments. Krydal stepped forward. I can help navigate. Before my capture, I studied the layout of this facility. Suddenly, alarms blared throughout the complex. A voice boomed over the announcement system. Attention all security forces. The human intruder has reached detention level and released test subjects. Apex Predator units are now authorized. Repeat, Apex Predator units are now deployed. What are Apex Predator units? Sam asked Krydal. The avian alien's feathers flattened against its body in what appeared to be fear. They're elite soldiers. They wear powered armor suits. Nothing. As advanced as yours, but dangerous nonetheless. Sam nodded. ECHO, Update Tactical Assessment. New threat identified, the AI responded. Detecting 12 powered signatures, approaching from multiple directions. Recommend immediate withdrawal to upper levels. Lead the way, Krytal, Sam said to the alien engineer. Let's show the Zyvaxians what happens when they underestimate the species they try to capture. As Sam led the freed prisoners toward the communication center, the first Apex Predator units rounded the corner ahead. Zyvaxian soldiers in sleek, armored suits with glowing red power sources. They raised their weapons in unison, targeting the escaped prisoners and the human in the combat Exoskin who had caused so much trouble. Sam pushed the freed aliens behind a nearby support column as the Apex Predator units opened fire. Energy bolts sizzled through the air, hitting the Exoskin's shields with much greater force than the regular guards' weapons. Shield integrity. At 60%, Echo warned as Sam rolled behind cover. These guys aren't messing around, Sam muttered, assessing the situation. The Apex Predators moved with coordinated precision, their armor enhancing their already impressive reptilian strength. Echo, analyze their armor for weaknesses. Analysis complete. Power sources located on lower back. Joint connections less. Protected at elbows and knees. Their helmets block 60% less energy than the rest of their armor. Sam nodded inside the helmet. Time to test these theories. With a burst of speed, Sam charged toward the nearest apex predator. The Zyvaxian soldier fired repeatedly, but Sam zigzagged in a pattern echo calculated to minimize hits. When within range, Sam slid beneath the alien's guard and struck upward at the helmet's connection point. The Exoskin amplified the blows. Force, sending the predator stumbling backward. "The others are trying to flank us," Kreidel called out, his keen avian eyes tracking movement. "Two moving through the side corridor." "ECHO, countermeasures," Sam ordered, engaging a second predator with a series of rapid strikes. The Exoskin's shoulder ports opened, releasing two small discs that flew through the air and attached to the Yaller. Walls of the side corridor. They detonated with a flash, releasing an electromagnetic pulse that temporarily disabled the approaching predator's systems. One of the other freed prisoners, a small gray-skinned alien with 6 limbs, darted forward and grabbed a fallen weapon. "I can help fight. I was a security officer before capture." "Cover the rear corridor," Sam directed, turning to face 3 more advancing predators. The battle intensified as Sam moved between the apex predators with enhanced speed and strength. The Exoskin took damage at direct hit from a heavy energy. Cannons scored the chest plate, and a physical blow from a predator's power-enhanced arm damaged a shoulder actuator. "Damage to left mobility systems," Echo reported. "Functionality reduced to 82%. Self-repair initiated." Sam grabbed one predator and used the momentum to throw him into 2 others. "How long until repairs?" "Estimated 17 minutes for basic functionality restoration. Full repair requires maintenance bay access." Meanwhile, Krytal had led the other freed aliens to a maintenance hatch. "Human, this way leads to the central lift shaft. We can bypass most security." Sam delivered a final blow to the last standing predator and backed toward the hatch. "ECHO, deploy smokescreen." Dense smoke billowed from ports on the Exoskins. Back, filling the corridor and obscuring their escape. Sam followed Krytal through the narrow maintenance tunnel, the Exoskin automatically adjusting its configuration to fit through the tight space. "Your armor is remarkable," Krytal said as they climbed through the shaft. "The Zyvaxians believed humans were technologically primitive compared to them." "We prefer to be underestimated," Sam replied. "Makes diplomatic meetings safer usually." They emerged 3 levels up in a less guarded section of the facility. The Exoskin sensors detected fewer security personnel, but the alarms continued to blare throughout the complex. "The communication center should be 1 level above us," Kreidel explained, pointing to a set of doors at the end of the corridor. "But it will be heavily guarded." Sam checked the Exoskin status display. Shields recharging 67% capacity. "Weapon systems fully operational. Let's move." They proceeded cautiously, with Sand taking point and the armed gray alien covering their rear. As they approached a junction, Echo suddenly issued a warning. Heavy energy signature detected ahead. Possible ambush. Sam raised a hand, signaling the group to stop. "Can you identify the source?" "Multiple power signatures consistent with Apex. Predator armor, plus 1 significantly larger energy reading." Before Sam could respond, the wall beside them exploded inward. Through the dust and debris stepped a massive armored figure, nearly 12 feet tall, with weaponry built into its arms and shoulders. Its armor gleamed with the same shifting colors as the Zyvixian scales, but amplified to a metallic shine. "I am Elite Commander Vexinar," boomed a voice from the towering suit. "You have caused enough trouble, human." Sam pushed the freed aliens back. "Run! Find another way to the communication center." Kreidel hesitated. "But go." "I'll handle this." "And meet you there." As the aliens retreated, Sam faced the massive Xivaxian battlesuit. Nice outfit, bit flashy for my taste. Vexinar's suit weapons powered up with an ominous hum. Your primitive armor impressed my soldiers, but it is nothing compared to elite Xivaxian technology. Let's test that theory, Sam replied, activating the Exoskin's combat mode. The Exoskin shifted again, panels realigning for maximum mobility and power distribution. Auxiliary power cells activated, sending fresh energy through the suit's systems. Combat. Optimization complete, Echo announced. Warning. Opponent outmasses us by approximately 300%. Then we'll have to be smarter, Sam said. Vexnar charged, each step of his massive suit shaking the floor. Sam waited until the last possible moment, then used the Exoskin's enhanced reflexes to sidestep the charge. As the larger suit passed, Sam struck at an exposed cooling vent Echo had identified, damaging it with a precision blow. The battle moved through the corridors of this Xivaxian facility, each combatant using their suit's capabilities to full advantage. Vexnar had raw power and heavier weapons, but Sam's suit was faster and more agile. The human moved like a dancer, striking vulnerable points while avoiding direct hits. His suit's cooling system is failing, Echo reported after Sam landed another. Precision strike, internal temperature rising. Vexnar roared in frustration, firing a barrage of energy bolts that Sam barely avoided. Several struck the Exoskin, draining its shields further. Shield integrity at 40%, Echo warned. Another direct hit may compromise protective systems. Sam needed to end this quickly. Using the Exoskin's jump enhancers, Sam leaped over Vexinar's head, attaching a small device to the Xivaxian suit before landing behind him. What did you? Vexinar began, but was cut short as the device activated, sending a powerful electric current through his suit's systems. The massive armor locked up, servos freezing and weapons powering down. Sam approached the immobilized. Commander, your suit's impressive, but our engineers anticipated we might face something like this. That's an override pulse designed specifically for powered armor systems. Inside his helmet, Vexnar hissed in rage. This isn't over, human. The High Command has already ordered your ship's capture. Sam's heart raced at the reminder. Echo, we need to reach that communication center now. Leaving the disabled Vexnar behind, Sam raced through the corridors, following ECHO's directions to reunite with Krytal and the others. They had found an alternate route and were waiting near a service entrance to the communication center. Your battle could be heard throughout the level, Krytal said. Are you damaged? Nothing critical, Sam replied, though the Exoskin now showed multiple damage indicators. What's the situation here? 6 guards inside, all heavily armed, the gray alien reported, peering through a small viewport. They're expecting trouble. Sam checked the Exoskin's remaining weapons. Then let's not disappoint them. My ship and crew are in danger, and we need to send a message before it's too late. Sam prepared for the final push into the communication center, knowing that the fate of the Horizon Dawn and perhaps relations with multiple alien species now depended on what happened in the next few minutes. Sam studied the communication center through the small viewport. Inside, 6 Xivaxian guards monitored banks of equipment. Large screens displayed the orbital position of the Horizon Dawn, now surrounded by 3 Xivaxian warships. We're running out of time, Sam said, checking the Exoskin's status. The damage indicators showed the left arm operating at reduced efficiency, and shield power was down to 35%. ECHO, can you interface with their communication systems from here? Negative. Direct access to main console required. Krytal pointed to a central platform. That is their primary broadcast station. It can send signals to all ships in orbit and to other systems through their relay network. Sam nodded. Perfect. We need a distraction. The small gray alien who had taken a weapon earlier stepped forward. I can create one. My species can generate bioelectric pulses that might disrupt their systems temporarily. That could work, Sam agreed. Krydal, can you operate their communication equipment once we're inside? The avian alien's feathers ruffled with confidence. Yes. Before my capture, I studied Xivaxian technology extensively. Sam outlined a quick plan. The gray alien would create a power disruption from a side panel, and when the guards investigated, Sam would enter and secure the room. Then Krydal would send their message while Sam protected them. Ready? Sam asked. When everyone nodded, Sam gave the signal. The gray alien placed all 6 of its limbs against a power conduit and concentrated. Seconds later, the lights in his communication center flickered. Alarms sounded as 3 guards moved to investigate the sudden power fluctuation. Now, Sam said, bursting through the doors. The Exoskin's speed enhancers activated, allowing Sam to cross the room before the remaining guards could react. One guard reached for his weapon, but Sam was already there. Delivering a precise strike had knocked him unconscious. The second guard fired, his energy bolt glancing off the Exoskin's shoulder armor. Sam responded with a controlled takedown, careful not to cause permanent injury. The third guard hit an alarm button before Sam could reach him. Red lights flashed throughout the facility as the guard drew a blade from his belt. The weapon hummed with energy as he slashed at Sam, but the Exoskin's sensors tracked the blade's path, allowing Sam to dodge and counter. Krydal now. Sam called as the last guard fell. Krydal and the other aliens rushed in, with the avian engineer heading straight for the main console. His 4 hands moved with practiced skill across the Xivaxian interface. System activated, Krydal announced. Ready to broadcast. Sam connected the Exoskin to the console. Echo, transfer all recorded data from this mission. Include footage of the detention center and the attempted ambush during the diplomatic meeting. Transferring data, Echo confirmed. Also including biological scans of the detained aliens, showing evidence of experimentation. On the main screen, they could see the Horizon Dawn. A Xivaxian energy beam had locked onto the human ship, preventing it from leaving orbit. The warships were closing in. Broadcast on all frequencies, Sam ordered, and establish direct communication with Captain Russell. Krydal's fingers flew over the controls. Broadcasting now. The screen flickered, then showed the bridge of the Horizon Dawn. Captain Frank Russell's face appeared, looking tense but controlled. Lieutenant Carter, what's your situation? Russell asked, clearly surprised to see Sam in the damaged Exoskin. Captain, the Xivaxians attempted to capture me during the diplomatic meeting. They've been doing the same to representatives from multiple species. Sam quickly explained what they had discovered. The evidence is being transmitted to you now. Forward it to Earth Command and to the governments of all species in this sector. Russell nodded. Receiving your transmission. We're in a bit of a situation ourselves. 3 Xivaxian warships have us in a tractor lock. Our weapons are ready, but we're trying to avoid starting an interstellar incident. Sir? Olivia Nguyen's voice came from off-screen. We're detecting 3 new ships entering the system. Russell looked alarmed. More Xivaxian vessels? No, sir, Olivia replied with surprise. They're ours. Earth Defense Fleet vessels. Decloaking now. The screen split to show 3 sleek, dark ships appearing seemingly out of nowhere, positioning themselves protectively around the Horizon Dawn. Their design was distinctly human, but far more advanced than the diplomatic vessel. This is Admiral Diane Martinez of the Earth Defense Fleet, a new voice announced over the communication channel. The Horizon Dawn and Lieutenant Carter are under our protection. Xivaxian vessels will stand down immediately. Sam couldn't help but smile inside the helmet. Looks like our backup arrived. On the screen, a Zyvaxian commander appeared, his scales changing color rapidly in what Sam's translator identified as agitation. This is an outrage. You violated our airspace with military vessels. Standard protocol for all diplomatic missions. Admiral Martinez replied calmly. We simply remained undetected until needed. And based on the evidence Lieutenant Carter just transmitted, it seems our caution was justified. Suddenly, the doors to the communication center burst open as more Tavzian guards poured in. Sam turned to face them, positioning himself between the guards and the freed aliens. Krytal, keep the channel open. Sam ordered, engaging the first wave of guards. The Exoskin, despite its damage, responded smoothly as Sam fought to protect. The broadcast station. A guard fired at the console, but Sam intercepted the shot, the impact sending pain through his left side as the shield barely absorbed the energy. Lieutenant, hold your position. Admiral Martinez instructed over the communication link. We're sending a strike team to extract you and the other captives. On the orbital display, Sam could see the Earth vessels deploying smaller craft toward the planet's surface. The Zyvaxian warships, outmatched by Earth's previously hidden military technology, began backing away from the Horizon Dawn. High Commander Krulthax appeared on the screen, his neck frill extended in rage. This deception will not be forgotten. Humans, you presented yourselves as peaceful diplomats while hiding your military capabilities, much like you presented yourselves as potential allies while planning to capture our representatives. Admiral Martinez countered. Lieutenant Carter was equipped with a defensive system for precisely this scenario. Based on your actions, it seems the precaution was necessary. Krulthax hissed in frustration as reports came in about the human strike team entering the atmosphere. This is not over? Actually, Sam said, knocking down the last guard attempting to interrupt the broadcast. I think it is. Your detention facilities have been exposed. Your prisoners are free. And now everyone in this sector knows exactly what kind of diplomacy the Zyvaxian Alliance practices. The communication channel filled with voices as representatives from other species joined the broadcast, responding to the evidence Sam had transmitted. Many reported similar experiences with Zyvaxian diplomacy, creating a unified front of outrage. Krytal's feathers lifted in what appeared to be the avian equivalent of a smile. Your plan worked, human friend. The truth is spreading across all communication channels. Sam nodded, watching as more Zyvaxian guards gathered outside the communication center, but hesitated to enter. They could see the orbital display, showing Earth vessels clearly superior to their own technology. Echo, status update on the Exoskin? Sam asked quietly. Damage substantial, but manageable. Shield capacity at 20%. Structural integrity. Holding. Self-repair systems continuing to address critical systems. Sam moved to the center of the room, standing tall despite the Exoskin's damage. Admiral Martinez, what are your orders while we wait for extraction? Hold your position, Lieutenant, Martinez replied. And well done. What began as a diplomatic mission has turned into first contact of a very different kind. It seems the Zyvaxians needed to learn that appearances can be deceiving, especially when it comes to humans in suits. 3 months later, Sam stood on the landing platform of the newly established Interspecies Diplomatic Center on the Zyvaxian homeworld. The combat Exoskin had been repaired and upgraded, its sleek surface now bearing official Earth Defense Force insignia rather than the diplomatic markings of the original disguise. There was no longer any need to hide its true nature. Nervous? Captain Russell asked, standing beside Sam in his formal uniform. Sam shook his head. Not nervous. Just thinking about how much has changed since that first meeting. You turned a diplomatic disaster into the foundation for actual peace, Russell said. Not bad for a mission that started with the Zyvaxians trying to capture you. The sky darkened as ships from 6 different species descended toward the platform. The aftermath of Sam's broadcast had been swift and far-reaching. With their deceptive practices exposed, the Zyvaxian Central Authority had been forced to make dramatic changes. High Commander Krellfax and his supporters had been removed from power, replaced by leaders who recognized the value of genuine cooperation over conquest. Lieutenant Carter, ECHO's voice, came through the Exoskin's private communication system. Admiral Martinez's ship has entered the atmosphere. Estimated arrival in 4 minutes. Sam nodded. Thank you, Echo. Today marked the official signing of the Mutual Defense and Technology Exchange Treaty, an agreement between Earth and 7 other species, including a reformed Zyvaxian government. Sam had been asked to attend as the catalyst for these historic changes. Still wearing the suit, I see, said a familiar voice. Sam turned to see Krytal approaching, the avian alien's feathers now adorned with the formal markings of an ambassador. Official request from both our governments, Sam replied with a smile behind the visor. Apparently, it's become something of a symbol. Krytal made a chirping sound that the translator interpreted as laughter. Indeed. Many young Avari now play games pretending to be the human in the combat skin who changed the stars. You've become quite the legend. The first diplomatic ships landed, representatives from various worlds emerging to be greeted by the new Zyvaxian leadership. Among them was a tall, dignified Zyvaxian female named Silvara, who had replaced Krellfax as High Commander. Ambassador Krytal, Lieutenant Carter, she greeted them, her scales shifting to colors that indicated respect rather than the aggression Sam had seen in their first encounter. Today marks a new beginning for all our peoples, Sam nodded. A better beginning than our last attempt. Silvara's neck frill rippled in what Sam now recognized as embarrassment. The actions of the previous administration brought shame to our people. We are grateful for the chance to prove that not all Zyvaxians shared Krellfax's views. Admiral Martinez's ship arrived last, its sleek design no longer hidden by cloaking technology. The Admiral descended the ramp, accompanied by representatives from Earth's government. As the formal ceremony began, Sam stood slightly apart, observing the proceedings. The Exoskin sensors picked up movement at the edge of the platform, a figure slipping through the security perimeter. Echo, enhance visual on Sector 4, Sam whispered. The display zoomed in, revealing a Zyvaxian in nondescript clothing moving purposefully toward the gathering of diplomats. Something about the pattern of scale coloration seemed familiar. Facial recognition confirms. Former High Commander Krellfax, Echo reported, carrying concealed energy weapon. Sam moved without hesitation, the Exoskin's enhanced speed allowing him to cross the platform in seconds. Krellfax raised his weapon just as Sam reached him, aiming at Silvara's back. Not this time, Sam said, grabbing the disgraced commander's arm and forcing it upward. The weapon discharged harmlessly into the sky. Security personnel converged on them as Sam carefully disarmed Krellfax, making sure not to injure him despite the Exoskin's strength. You ruined everything, Krellfax hissed, his scales flaring. With rage, our species was meant to rule, not cooperate with lesser beings. Sam shook his head. That kind of thinking is why you failed. Strength isn't about domination. It's about knowing when to use power and when to show restraint. As security led Krellfax away, Admiral Martinez approached Sam. Good work, Lieutenant. Some habits die hard, it seems. Old grudges especially. Sam agreed. The ceremony resumed, with representatives from each species signing the historic treaty. When it was Earth's turn, Admiral Martinez surprised everyone by gesturing to Sam. Lieutenant Carter's actions opened the door to this new era of cooperation, she announced. It seems fitting that he should sign on behalf of Earth. Sam stepped forward, the Exoskin's gauntlet hand carefully holding the pen as he signed his name on the document. The moment was broadcast throughout the participating worlds, cementing the image of the human in the combat Exoskin as a symbol of this new alliance. Later, as the diplomatic reception continued, Sam stood on a balcony overlooking Xivaxian, capital city. The Exoskin's environmental systems easily compensated for the methane-rich atmosphere. That would be toxic to an unprotected human. Planning your next diplomatic mission? Kreidel asked, joining Sam at the railing. Sam laughed. I think I've had enough excitement for a while. Though Earth Command has suggested I might train others in Exoskin diplomacy, as they're calling it now. An excellent idea, said a new voice. They turned to see Silvara approaching. Many of us would like to learn from your example, Lieutenant. Your restraint was as impressive as your strength. Krellfax and his supporters would have killed without hesitation, yet you captured them without taking lives. That's the real purpose of the Exoskin, Sam explained. It's not just about having power, it's about having enough power that you don't need to use it destructively. The best outcome is one where everyone walks away. Silvara's scales shifted to a thoughtful blue. A wise philosophy. The previous. Leadership saw your environmental suits and assumed weakness. They never considered they might be seeing exactly what humans wanted them to see. A lesson for all of us, Kreidel added. Appearances can be deceiving. From orbit, the gathering. On the Xivaxian homeworld appeared as a small collection of lights in the sprawling capital city. Ships from multiple species hung in peaceful formation, their weapons powered down, their sensors focused on scientific exchange rather than military assessment. Aboard the Horizon Dawn, now serving as Earth's primary diplomatic vessel, communications. Officer Olivia Nguyen monitored the transmissions from the planet's surface. Quite a change from our last visit, Captain Russell remarked, watching the feed from the treaty signing. Olivia nodded. Who would have thought that a diplomatic mission gone wrong would lead to this? Russell smiled. Sometimes the best way to make friends is to show them what happens when they make you an enemy. Lieutenant Carter and that Exoskin taught them that humans come prepared, even when we're hoping for peace. On the planet below, Sam looked up at the stars, now filled with potential rather than threat. The Exoskin hummed softly around him, its combat capabilities dormant, but ready, just as humanity had always been. Prepared for the worst while working toward the best, hidden strength behind a peaceful appearance, and now, a bridge between worlds that had nearly begun as enemies. Echo, Sam said quietly, record personal log, diplomatic mission finally complete. Outcome, successful. Sometimes the best way to avoid using a weapon is to have one so good you never need to fire it. End log. The Exoskin's lights pulsed in. Acknowledgement as the stars continued to shine on the beginning of a new era. One that started when someone provoked a human in what they thought was just a simple suit.